Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are mentally and physically fit and rocking. Guys, we successfully started our first batch of CFI and audit in English, and it's going on in a superb manner. And now we are starting a new batch altogether for CFI and audit English. New course batch. It is a new pattern batch. Guys, what is the special thing about this batch is we have redesigned everything as per new study material and as per new pattern. Yes, I can proudly say that we are amongst few or only one that we have reframed our complete notes as per ICAI study material. We have created a beautiful book called Audit Titanium. Yes, guys, Audit Titanium, in which everything is covered from study material in the same sequence. In same sequence it is there. So, and all the questions, please note that all the questions of new study material, whether it is test your understanding questions, illustrations, or test your knowledge questions, everything will be covered in this batch itself. See, I have experience of around 15 years and I have seen every 5 years course changes, and whenever course changes, CA Institute focuses on new study material a lot. So questions, drafting, things in the new study material becomes extremely important. Let me tell you guys, except one or two chapters maybe, so there are total 19 chapters. Yes, total 19 chapters. Audit is big, it is voluminous. Out of 19 chapters, if I skip 2-3 chapters, there are changes everywhere. There are changes everywhere. There are additions, there are deletions, and one should not ignore it. Okay, guys. So we are going to focus on this new study material, and I bet majority of the question, in fact 100% of the question in first few exams is going to come straight away from this only. Okay, so we are on a tremendous strategy to follow study material. That's why this particular batch is called as ICAI new course study material batch. It's a new pattern batch, guys. Okay, so I've given a small introduction. Let's take it ahead. And guys, as it's in English, so it's this particular batch is suited for all the South students or maybe some students from Northeast and Orissa who are comfortable in English language. If someone is not very comfortable in English language, then they can definitely they should go for CFI and audit English batch, that is Hindi and English mixed batch. So we have both the options available. As you are comfortable, you can go for any of those batches. And special hi to students sitting in Hyderabad. In Hyderabad, guys, I know that some of you, many of you in fact, you are sitting in a classroom and watching this particular lectures. I'll be very happy to interact with you. Okay. Now, as we are going to spend a lot of time with each other, you should know who I am. Okay. So, good things about me. I've been a rank holder. Yes, I've been a rank holder. So, I've seen that how to achieve that topmost position, being a rank holder all over India, to be in that top 50. Okay. So, I'll be sharing a lot of things, how I achieved that particular rank and how you can also achieve that. Then, let me tell you, proudly I can say that I have been a failure also. Yes, in CA final exams, I cleared my first group, and then I didn't clear my one group I didn't clear, and the next exam I cleared. So I've seen that also, that after being a rank holder, not cracking both groups at one go, not clearing it, and then again clearing it. So I know what reasons can lead to failure. What reasons can lead to failure, and also know how to come out of that failure. These are very important things. So I'll be sharing that also. I'll be sharing with respect to subject also, and with respect to overall studies and overall approach. That's very important. Then guys, I had done my articleship at PricewaterhouseCoopers, Mumbai in statutory audits. So I have seen best of the world class practices, how audits are designed, how they are planned, how they are executed, what kind of issues, challenges come up, how they are resolved, how standards on auditing are applied, how accounting standards, okay, now India in standards, in AS, how they are applied, and then problems are resolved. So we are going to see those things. I'll be putting all my knowledge, experience, and the practical exposure, everything, when we are going to see this subject. Then guys, I've cleared 2 levels of CFA USL, so yes, but I didn't appear for level 3, so I can say that I'm a level 3 candidate, and I'm a thorough specialist for audit. So if you see that I teach audit at 2 levels, inter and final, that's it, nothing else. So my team, my time, our approach is fully focused how to make this subject beautiful, how to make it better and better, how students can score more and more marks in this particular subject. Guys, our books have been famous across India. Overwhelming response for our books, whether in old course, we had Bhaskar, a regular book, Param Question Bank, Fadu Chart book. These three books are famous across India. And now in new course, we are going to have, instead of Bhaskar book, we are going to have a wonderful titanium book. So this particular titanium book is going to cover everything, each and every concept, but it's beautifully designed. I will discuss with you around in 350 pages. Yes guys, in 350 pages it's going to cover complete 1200 page module in a beautiful manner. See, having wonderful book is extremely important. It should be, you should feel, it should be very comfortable. It should be very comfortable that you read the book. There are points given, shortcuts given, important things are highlighted, and then you have to revise it again and again, correct? So guys, we have designed a beautiful book for the new course, Titanium. Then you are going to get question bank. Yes, new course question bank, Param question bank. I promise this, that new course question bank, and then for revision we are planning it, and we will let you know what we are designing for the revision purpose. If you are attending the regular class and if you are having regular book, that is sufficient. Just do that again and again. That will be sufficient. You won't need a separate revision material. As such, it is of 350 pages. Okay, so it is easily doable, easily achievable. At CA final level, 350 pages is nothing. Okay, now you are a CA student. You should not be frightened with number of pages. Now, so I have given you background about me. So it will help. It will help you. It will help me. So we both connect with each other. We both understand each other, and we both listen to each other. Now, so that was about me, guys. And now the next is about the subject. Let's see how subject is designed. This designing is also extremely important, guys. So I'll be solving a lot of doubts you are having. So now if I talk about subject, don't worry, sir, should we note all this down? See, you have to use smartness. Whatever you do, there should be smartness, correct? Now my introduction is of no use. You should simply think whether this information will be of any use to me in the revision. If it's no use to you in the revision, you don't need to note it. Okay, I will be sharing link of all these notes. So whatever I write in the class, you will be getting a link, live link, which will be updated as I write. It will be updated. Okay, so if you want to note with me, you can note with me. Sometime if you miss, it's absolutely fine. You can note it once class ends on daily basis. But then on daily basis, it is advised that you cover everything. If you do things on daily basis, nothing can beat that. A golden rule for super success is on daily basis, you are supposed to revise it. On daily basis, if any notes has to be written, you write it. Daily basis, revise it. If you do that, you are going to crack it. You are going to unlock 70 plus for sure. We are going to prepare like that, nothing less than 70. We are going to target that thing, guys. Okay. So, and I understand that many of you are not able to attend this particular batch because the timings are 10 o'clock to 10 to 2:30. So these timings are not very article shift friendly. I understand that, guys. But then we have our other batches also running. So this was the time which we could have used to comfortably deliver this particular subject. Don't worry. If you're not able to attend live class, you can definitely go for the recorded classes and cover everything. Now, if I talk about subject, guys, so subject is divided in three parts. It's divided in three parts, and first part is essay based, standards on auditing based. Essays were important before also, and now they have become extremely important. Earlier, there were hardly 3 to 4 chapters based on standards on auditing. Now there are 11 chapters, guys. Out of 19, 11 chapters are dedicated to standards on auditing. This shows importance of standards on auditing. As per my experience, I feel that around 55 marks. Let me tell you, subject I am keeping in mind that subject paper is going to be of 120 marks. Paper is going to have 120 marks. 55 marks are going to come from standards on auditing. 55 marks. And these 55 marks, major portion will be in the form of interactive case studies. It will be scenario based. So they will give you a situation. They will give you a situation and they will ask you, as a chartered accountant, what will you do in this particular situation as per standards on auditing? So if you have studied standards on auditing with at grassroots level with a lot of conceptual clarity, and if you have memorized it properly, you will be able to apply it and solve these case studies. Guys, don't worry, I'll be covering all the case studies, all the questions which are given in study material. Apart from that, our question bank will be covering all the relevant questions asked by the institute in past few years, which are relevant for us, everything. And let me assure you, if you cover Audit Titanium book properly and our question bank, let me assure you, you will be able to solve 120 marks bang on target properly. Hardly, it may happen some attempt, hardly 5 to 10 marks out of 120. I'm saying 5 to 10 marks will be outside this thing. 5 to 10 I'm saying, guys. So if you religiously follow our Audit Titanium book and our Param question bank, that will be more than sufficient. So standards on auditing is going to come for 55 marks. Extremely important. Then we have 7 chapters. We have 7 chapters that you can say that different types of audit. So we'll be having audit of banks, audit of NBFCs, audit of PSUs, then different types of assignments, due diligence, investigation, forensic accounting, then how to do audit in digital environment, and all of these things. So as per my experience, I feel around 50 marks. 50 marks is going to come from these chapters. It's very extremely important. See, if you want to be successful and if you want to unlock 70 plus in audit, it's very important that you cover these 7 chapters also properly. Sometimes students simply focus on standards and auditing and they don't focus on other chapters. And sometimes it is opposites. People simply focus on other chapters, they don't focus on standards and auditing. Neither of the approach is going to help you. If you focus on both the type of chapters, then only you are going to be successful. So guys, you have to cover standards and auditing also, and you have to cover different types of audit also. And then lovely, the beautiful chapter, the most interesting chapter, which you should score full marks. Okay. And that is only one chapter is dedicated, chapter number 19. Chapter number 19 is dedicated for that. That is going to come for 15 marks. So out of 120, 15 marks will be professional ethics. So guys, together it is 120 marks. 120 marks, and that is how they have designed the course. So it's a good mix of standards, other chapters, and professional ethics. It's very important to know this so that when you strategize, you cover everything. And that's the golden strategy, that you have to cover everything. Of course, I know, sir, to go through so much, to remember so much, don't worry about it. We have designed beautiful things to make you comfortable in this subject. Now, if I talk about paper pattern, so again, 30 marks will be dedicated to MCQs. So those who have good conceptual knowledge and good coverage, they will be able to understand these MCQs and they will be able to solve these MCQs properly. And then 70 marks will be descriptive. Now this can be in the form of individual case study. Individual case study, that means one case study is given, and on that basis you have to solve maybe one MCQ or multiple MCQs, or there's a case study given and you have to give a descriptive answer. Now what is case scenario? In case scenario, there will be one case study on which you will be getting MCQs also, and you will be getting descriptive theoretical questions also. So see, what is the plus point, what is the negative point? Plus point is you study the case once and then you have an overview of the case, study it. On that basis, you can solve MCQs also, and on that basis, you can solve case study based question also. That's wonderful. You're able to solve multiple things on the basis of one case study. That's a big positive, I feel, guys. And that's in favor of the students. But then there is a mind game. That case study appears big. It is 2 pages. And then some student may get frightened. Oh my God, it's a 2-page case study. Oh my God, it's such a big case study. How will I do it? But guys, come on. If you're at CA final level, you should not be afraid about all these things. If you're smart, you should have an overview of the case study. Simply overview of the case study. Go on the questions. Study questions properly. That's the most important thing. Read MCQ 2-3 times, read option 2-3 times, and then you come back to the case study. Okay, let's find out the relevant portion, read it and solve it. So if you're smart, and I'm going to teach you how to study the case-based scenario, how to approach it, and how to solve, how to get the answers. Okay, so don't worry about that, guys. We'll be doing everything. And we'll be taking tests. Yes, guys, we'll be taking tests. We are planning to take almost five chapter-wise tests. So we'll be covering different chapters, 5 chapter-wise tests, and full course test also. If you're studying regularly and if you're giving tests, then you will be in touch with the subject, you will be able to express the subject and score good marks. Okay. Now, next is, so we are going to have daily class of 2 to 2.5 hours. Daily class. Okay. 2 to 2.5 hours. I think that's a good enough time. And audit being a theory subject, there's not a lot of writing work is there. Definitely we are going to write things, but not everything. It is not required. See, in today's time, time is extremely precious. We should spend time where it is required. Let's not spend it unnecessarily. So we are going to spend time, we are going to write things which are relevant, which are important for developing ourselves. We are not going to write everything. We have to write complicated things. Okay. So really 2.5 hours of class. Concepts will be covered. And as I said, each and every question of ICAI new course study material will be covered. Let me tell you that institute has, so they released one material, but after that, just few days before, they have revised the material again. Now, because we see the material on regular basis, we realize that it has been revised. Okay, so we are covering the revised version. So we are covering the revised version. Everything will be as per the revised version. Then the most important thing and lovely thing about our classes, I will be giving you daily audio revision. Yes, guys, this is going to be a big game changer. Irrespective of how good were the classes, how wonderful were the classes, how beautiful was the case discussion, how good were the notes, how good was the memory technique, how good was the discussion, we loved it, we enjoyed it, we are feeling comfortable, everything is fine. But let me tell you, after few days, okay, you are going to lose that memory. After a few days, you are going to lose that memory. So best thing is, you should listen to 2 to 3 audio revisions on daily basis. One audio will be of around 15 minutes. 15 minutes, one audio will be of 15 minutes. That too without increasing speed. So if you increase speed, you will be able to cover it around 10 minutes only. Okay. So if you on daily basis, if you are listening to 2 to 3 audios, now just imagine. So in class, we have covered the concept once, and then I repeat also in the class. So it is 2 times. Okay. Then you go and you are going to listen to 2 to 3 audios. Suppose you are going to listen to 2 audios on daily basis. 2 audios on daily basis. That means every topic is getting revised 2 times. Okay. So along with class, you'll be covering all the concepts 4 times. That is going to make you very comfortable. So these audios are going to be game changer. We are going to give you audios of the whole subject. So just imagine, the whole subject will be covered in 15 to 20 hours of audios. 15 to 20 hours of audios, guys. Now, you have to continue this ritual of listening to 2 to 3 audios once class is also over. Once class is over, after that also. So then what will happen, I will tell you. Within every 20 days, you will be covering the audit course. You will be able to cover audit course multiple times. And guys, that is going to be the secret. Completing whole course multiple times. You will be so comfortable. So once class is over, along with class, you have already covered subject 4 times. Already covered 4 times. Then after that, within 20 days, one go, then 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 one go. If you follow this religiously, guys, last 1.5 days, you will be able to revise subject twice, not once, but twice. But you have to follow this advice of listening to 2 audios on daily basis. And audit is a subject, you don't study it completely. Many students make this biggest blunder. So I have allocated 10 days for audit. Audit is not subject like that. It needs revision on daily basis. When you revise on daily basis, then that becomes comfortable. Then you start enjoying that subject. Then you start loving that subject. Then you start excelling in that subject. Okay, guys. So daily revision audios. Sir, from where are we going to get all these daily revision audios? Okay. Now you are having some links in the description of this video. Description of this particular video, and those links are extremely important. Okay. One link is to a folder where you can get soft copy of some of our notes, and then you are going to get audio revision. You are going to get index of this particular batch. So that link is given in the description. It's the notes links, it's the audio revision link. So that link will be extremely important. Okay. Apart from that, guys, just a minute. It is extremely important that you join few things which I am telling you right now. So you're supposed to join Audit Guru CA Ravi Taori AIR. This is the channel. This channel you're supposed to join. Okay. So you simply search for that Audit Guru. You search for that in Telegram. We have given the link in the description also. And if not, you can simply scan this QR code. And you should join that Audit Guru Telegram channel. Okay. So you're supposed to join this channel. You can join right now, or maybe you can join later. But then remember, you can note it down. I have to join that Audit Guru Telegram channel. Then you're supposed to join CA Final Doubts and Notes group. CA Final Doubts and Notes group. Yes, guys, that's extremely important. Again, link of this particular group. This group is given. We have recently made this group, is given in the description. So you join that. Now there are a lot of topics. Given. So this is one of the topics. English study material, a regular batch, May 24 onwards. All important communications with respect to this particular batch will be given in this particular topic. So in Telegram group, we have topics, and in this particular topic, we are going to post everything. And if you got any doubt with respect to this particular batch, okay, you can ask on this tab. Then if you have audit related doubts, you can ask in this audit tab. So there is a separate audit topic. You can ask there. So it's important to join this also. So I have informed you about Audit Guru Telegram channel. I have informed you about audit. Then I have informed you about this particular group also. Okay. Now, once you have joined that, that's important. You are going to get audio revision from that link. Again, from that link which we have, a OneDrive link we have given. These classes will be around 100 to 120 hours. Now this discussion is required, guys. 120 hours, it's an estimate. It can be around that. We are going to full justice to the content. We are not going to compromise with anything. Because for us, result and good performance is extremely important thing. So we have that in target. So keeping that in mind, we are going to teach everything. You are going to get a book. We have covered everything. We have written all the technical language. In fact, in some places is the complete language as it is. It's hardly 350 pages. So that you cover it on multiple times. And then as I have said, revised Param question bank also, an MCQ book will be giving on on PDF. PDF will be made available to you. So you can go through that. You can solve your MCQs. And then see guys, once class is over, see this new course batch, we are doing a lot of things. We are developing notes side by side, very high quality notes, our question bank, our MCQ book. Once these batches are over, once I'm through with my Hindi English batch, I'm through with my English batch, we are going to give you a lot of material and a lot of videos, extra question discussions, MCQs. So a lot of things are going to go along with that. We will be there for marathon revisions, we will be there for last day revisions, and all the doubt support you want, everything will be there. And as I said, approach is going to be very simple. You have to revise multiple times. You should allocate 30 to 45 minutes as per your comfort for audit. Only do this much. Allocate 30 to 45 minutes in your schedule for audit on daily basis. And in that time, use revision audios and videos. We are going to give you revision audios. We are going to give you revision videos. Okay, end of the chapter, we are going to do Q&A practice. You are also supposed to do Q&A practice. Q&A practice is altogether extremely important. It's a next level thing. Even that needs to be done. Okay. So guys, I've explained about myself. I've explained about the subject, about the question paper, how it's going to be. Then what we will be doing in the batch and how you are supposed to study. We have done all these things, guys. Now let's get to the first chapter, and that's going to give you 15 marks. 15 marks from that chapter is going to come. Okay, and it can increase. Sometime it may go to 20 marks. So if in any particular attempt it goes to 20 marks, it's a bonus. It's a celebration time. Okay, it's a celebration time. Now, so first chapter is professional ethics. Professional ethics and liabilities of auditor. That is the first chapter. And let me be very honest, this chapter is as it is. They have not changed many things in this. This chapter is on same lines as it used to be in the old course. It is amongst those few chapters which is as it is. Okay. When it comes to standards on auditing, let me clarify one more thing. They have covered standards in the main material, and in some standards they have simply given the name in the index, and they say that we expect that you have that knowledge of CA inter. So application of those standards is applicable, is expected. Application after covering everything from the study material, from the study material, at last, we are going to cover those standards also. We are going to cover those standards also, because for application, again, you need to have an overview. So we are going to give that complete overview to you and audios for that also. So guys, we will be giving full support to you. Now it's up to you. Do you match our energy? Do you match our expectations? Okay. And if you match our energy, you match our expectations, you are going to rock. You are going to unlock 70 plus. Okay. So now let's go to the first chapter, chapter number 19, professional ethics and liabilities of auditor. During the class, keep scribbling. You can keep writing. You can maintain your 200-page book. You can keep writing what are the important concepts, what is going on. You can keep marking. Maximum time, keep writing, keep marking something or the other. This keeps you very active. This increases your memory. This increases your understanding. So keep scribbling during the class. Okay. So CA Institute CA Institute has done a new thing this time. What they have done, when they start any chapter, so in 19 chapters, whenever they start a chapter, they have explained one case. Okay. Now let me tell you, it is simple case and simple situation. It is not a question answer. It is not a question answer, just a case, a scenario is explained. And that case is related to this particular chapter. That's it. So you don't have to remember or retain this particular case. See, what is the magic of this Audit Titanium book? What is the magic of this Audit Titanium book is, it is having, if you see the book, it is having side headings, clearly visible, easy to understand. Okay guys, so we are back. So there's a dialogue that in big countries, small things happen. So a lot of happening on the day one of the class. Initially, there was some technical issue, and now unexpected. It never happens generally. So, anyways, now guys, so I was explaining you that at the start of the chapter, they are discussing a case simply to give feel of what kind of case studies or case scenario or what kind of content you are going to expect in exams. Okay. So let's start with that. Let's start with this. So imagine a case scenario. I was also explaining that these are the side headings we have given. So across the book, you are going to have these side headings. These are very crucial. You are not going to find a simple lengthy paragraph. You are going to see small 1-2 lines of points. This is going to make reading the book extremely simple. It is going to make reading the book extremely simple, and it will be simple, and you will be able to read it fast also because of that. So you're not going to see big paragraphs, you are going to see short points. Then these points are, we have given these points after thinking a lot what kind of heading should be given so that it should represent the content, and it is easy to retain also, easy to remember also. and we'll be giving you a lot of shortcuts. On how you can retain, remember these points. Okay. So we're going to discuss a lot of things as we go ahead. We are going to use a lot of memory techniques. So dividing it into small points, that is very important for memorization. Then grouping them in clusters. Again, we are going to do that so that you remember the points easily. Then we are going to give you stories. We are going to give you mnemonics and logical flows, practical life flows, and so on, which is going to make very easy to remember things. Okay. And I was seeing a query out there. So if you got any query, simply go to the admin. Simply you can go to our admin. Let me share you our admin number. See, if you want to contact me altogether, then you can WhatsApp me on 9096000033. So you can reach me directly. And for all admin queries, please don't come to me with admin queries. Okay. As such, a lot of time I'm busy and then I'm solving doubts, because I'm going to redirect you to the same admin. I'm proud of our admin. They are really very good. They care about students a lot. Okay. So 9322011915. But please contact them on working days. They also have some offs. Okay. Sundays and some holidays. So working days, and that too 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. These guys work more than that, guys. But then they have a lot of other work also. So 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. is perfect time to contact them for any queries you have, any kind of query you have. Okay, you might be having queries with respect to books, activation, how to watch lectures, views, whatever the query is. Simply contact them. Okay, you can put a WhatsApp to them also, and give them at least sometime. Generally they call back all the missed calls. Give them 1 day time to resolve issues. They generally inform you how much time it will take to resolve things. Please cooperate with them. Okay. And many times it happens that all the frustration of studies of the office, generally student went out on the admin staff. Please don't do that. They're also human beings. Please don't vent out your anger, your frustrations on admin. Show some patience, show some respect towards them. Okay. Now guys, finally let's come to the case they have given. So they explain that there is an auditor. There is an auditor, and Mr. R, he's an auditor. Imagine this. So Mr. R is an auditor, and he is doing audit of a bank. He is doing audit of a bank, and a very sincere auditor, very smart chap. He's doing audit carefully, and then he identifies a lot of loans given by the bank where management has not properly classified it into NPA. So he comes to know about hidden NPAs. My God, hidden NPAs. NPA is a big headache, because as soon as you see the NPA, you will have to make the provisions for NPA. So he has identified a very, very big material misstatement, and he comes to know that management has done it intentionally. So it is not an error, it is a fraud. It is not an error, it is a fraud altogether. Now what bank's management is saying, dear auditor, these are some 7 large accounts which are actually NPA, but we have done the window dressing, we have hidden it as a performing asset. Don't worry, let's meet the borrower. So he gives contact details of the auditor to the borrowers. So out of 7 borrowers, some borrowers, they come and meet the auditor and explain them, see, we are very big parties, we are huge parties, and if you keep our account out of NPA, we are going to pay you money and take care of you. We'll pay you in crores. So auditor is offered bribe by the borrower. And what? Auditor has accepted that bribe, accepted that offer. Highly unethical activity. Auditor was supposed to be truthful. He was supposed to report whether financial statements give true and fair view. He is compromising with the most important ethical principle, being truthful, showing integrity, being honesty. So out of that, some borrowers have given him money. He is not reporting them as NPA. Other borrowers who are not in touch with the auditor, who have not given money, they are disclosed as NPA. Now, this is a complete mockery of our ethical principles, complete mockery of our profession. That's what they have explained. See, we don't need to remember this case. We don't need to remember this particular case. No need to remember the headings. We just have to understand the crux. So if you see module, it's a huge case. It's a huge case which is little difficult to read, understand, and retain. The best part is you can always keep your ICAI module. You can always keep your ICAI module along with these notes. Everything is in the same sequence, same flow. So we are covering each and everything from the module in the same sequence, in the same flow altogether. Okay. So when you do that, you cover in the same sequence, same flow, you feel extremely comfortable, guys. So it is completely unethical. It is completely unethical. Basic fundamental ethical principles are compromised. It is a big mistake by the chartered accountant. It is unethical activity. It is murder of the profession. And then they explain that he will be punished as per the CA. He will be punished as per the CA Act, and he is not following the ethical principles. They are also giving reference. Apart from that, apart from being honest, he has to follow more principles like confidentiality also. So it's basically a background, a case study where a chartered accountant is compromising. He is not doing justice to our ethical principles. Okay. Now, guys, let's see. Introduction of professional ethics. Introduction of professional ethics. I won't consider it a very important category. It's a simple introduction. What do you mean by ethics? Ethics are the principles which tell us, moral principle which tell us what is good and what is bad. So being honest is good. Ethical principle, being honest is good, that is ethical. Being dishonest is not good, that is unethical. So ethical principles simply tell us what is good and what is bad. What is professional ethics? In CA profession, what auditor should do? What auditor should do and what he should not do. Professionally, what is correct, what is not correct, what are do's, what are don'ts. That's called professional ethics. These are professional ethics. These are very important, extremely important. Then only people are going to show trust on us. Then only shareholders, bankers, authorities, government, analyst, society is going to show trust on us. So We know what is ethics, professional ethics. This is very important. Then only people are going to show trust. People are going to show trust on us, and we are supposed to preserve and maintain that trust. It's our duty. Profession of chartered accountancy was introduced because there was a lack of trust. Management of the companies, entities, they were preparing financial statement, but no one was believing it. No one was believing in it. So to remove this trust deficiency, the concept of chartered accountancy was introduced. Concept of audit was introduced. It's very important to maintain that trust. Now, who is going to explain these ethical principles? So, CA Institute has code of ethics. CA Institute has code of ethics. Code of ethics, so it's a booklet. Code of ethics is a booklet. It gives what are the fundamental ethical principles. So all the chartered accountants are supposed to be ethical. So to be ethical, what principles they will have to follow? So it discusses 5 fundamental principles. 5 fundamental ethical principles. It has been asked in question. It has been asked in exam. What are the 5 fundamental principles of ethics? You have studied this in inter. That is only called as ethical requirements. That is only called as ethical requirements. So there is a code of ethics booklet. So when you become chartered accountant, you are going to get a post from the CA Institute, and you are going to get this beautiful book, Code of Ethics, and that's going to explain 5 fundamental principles. Okay. It's mandatory to follow these principles. If you don't follow these principles, Institute is going to punish you. If you're not going to follow, they are going to discipline you, they are going to punish you. Okay, so it's very simple. It's very simple. I don't think they will be targeting this in exams, but then when you read any concept, ask 2 questions to yourself. Can I get a theory question on this? Always ask this. Can I get a theory question on this? See, smartness is going to be the extremely important thing when you study any subject. You want to ask, especially theory, descriptive question on this. And next is, am I going to get any MCQ question on this? So honestly, if I ask question, any descriptive question, I don't see a framing of any descriptive question here. Okay, but then MCQ I see. Our mission statement of CA Institute is also based on these ethical principles. Ya esha supteshu jagriti. Ya esha supteshu jagriti. You should be awake. You should be awake. You should be alert. You should be awake. You should be alert in this world, even if people are unethical. You should be awake even if people are sleeping. You should be ethical even if the world is unethical. You should be truthful even if the world is lying. Irrespective of how people are behaving in this world, you become that torch bearer. You become that honest professional. This is our motto. So our motto is based on the fundamental ethical principles. You can get MCQ on this. I really believe and I feel there should be a question on this. This is the motto line which every chartered accountant, every CS student should know about it. Ya esha sutteshu jagriti. So it's a Sanskrit phrase. It's a Sanskrit phrase. Kathopanishad signifies internal vigilance, being awake when the world is asleep. Okay. Some students feel that that means that we should be awake whole night. Oh, come on, it's not like that. Come on, it's not like that you should be awake whole night. Okay, don't misinterpret it and don't spoil your life. You should take at least 6 hours of sleep, 6 to 7 hours of sleep as per what is required. That's required for a very good performance, for a very good day. Okay, don't make nuisance. When I see social media, people make any interpretation, any memes, and they say that I should be awake whole night because I am a chartered accountant. This is foolishness. Please come on, grow up. Don't have such kind of interpretations. Huh? Don't make mockery of things. Now, so once we have this introductory principles, let's go ahead. Overview of this code of ethics. So if you go to see if something is very important or something is least important, I am going to mark it. Rest of the other things are going to be B category. Okay. Now, overview of this code of ethics book. So when you're going to get this code of ethics book, so it is generally called volume 1. It is in volume 1. This code of ethics we are talking. Sir, what is there in other 2 volumes? We will discuss this later on. But then you are going to get this code of ethics book in volume 1. There's a complete code of ethics is given. So this code of ethics book is divided into 4 parts. Okay. Part 1 is going to tell you, it says that, so what is the structure? So you can get an MCQ for this. You can get a descriptive question, because ethics are very important, and all ethical principles which we follow in our profession, they are coming out from this book, from this booklet, from this document. And as a chartered accountant, you should be aware about these basic things. So the structure is very simple. You got part 1. Okay. And now this is the name, which where is name of the part 1. So it says that it is mandatory for all the chartered accountants to comply with part 1. And part 1 gives us fundamental principles. It explains 5 fundamental principles to remain ethical. That is also called as ethical requirements. And all so ethical principles, it also explains how to implement these principles, it explains a lot of principles with respect to each principle, a lot of points with respect to each principle for all professional accountants. So for all chartered accountants, guys, now this code of ethics is a copy of International Code of Ethics. The code of ethics which we are discussing right now, it is a copy of International Code of Ethics. So instead of using word chartered accountants, they use word professional accountants. But let me tell you, we don't get the feel till the time we use the word chartered accountants. And in exam also, instead of writing professional accountant, you can write chartered accountant. Let's be very clear. We need conceptual understanding. We need to retain points and then explain in your own language, and try to use more and more technical words. Now, technical words, what do you mean by technical words? Some these are typical words which I am going to highlight. Okay, these are typical word which should be used always. So I am going to highlight throughout the teaching. I am going to tell you, oh, so this is the technical word, you should follow this. The rest, everything has to come in own language only. So part 1 is simply, it says that follow all the fundamental principle, all the professional accountants, that means all the chartered accountants, whether they are in practice or whether they are in job, they have to follow all of them. Whether they're in practice, whether they're in job, that means whether they're in service, all of them need to follow these fundamental principles. Then part 2, so all professional accountants. Part 2 is applicable only to those Part 2 is applicable only to those chartered accountants who are in service. So part 2 requirements are specially for those chartered accountants who are in service. Applicable to accountant in various sectors, those in professional accountants in service. Sometimes this may happen that there are some practicing chartered accountants. Practicing chartered accountant, they are having COP. Yes. Now, what do you mean by practicing chartered accountant? See, after becoming a chartered accountant, you have an option. Either you take a certificate of practice from the institute or you do other things. So if you take a certificate of practice, you are called as chartered accountant in practice. But then we are going to study. Sometimes along with COP, you may go for a job. Generally in the initial phase, when you don't have your lot of your own clients, you can go for a job. People go for a job with other chartered accountants in practice, with big CA firms, or they may go for a job with companies also. So it is applicable to those accountants who, while having COP with them, while they are in practice, they are side by side doing job also. Applicable to accountants in various sectors, those in public practice as employees. So, they are in public practice, that means they are holding COP. They are holding COP. They are holding COP, but along with COP, they are working as employees also somewhere. For some time, they are working as employees. A lot of chartered accountants, they do it. Initially, it takes time to get settled, to get your own clients. So, in that time, for remuneration, for earnings to flow, they work as employees. So, even for them, part 2 will be. So, that's very important. Part 2 of Code of Ethics is applicable to all the chartered accountants in job, in service, and if the COP holders, those who are in public practice, are doing part-time, full-time job somewhere for some time, again, part 2 will be applicable to them when they are doing job. Okay. So I hope it is clear about, you are clear about it. So sometime along with practice, people are doing job. When they are doing job for that particular issue, for that particular matter, for that particular assignment, part 2 will get applicable to them. Part 3, now it's common sense, guys. Come on, think about it. If part 2 is for chartered accountants, those who are in, part 2 is for chartered accountant, those who are in service, then part 3 is going to be for chartered accountants, those who are in practice. Yes, guys, those who are in practice. Professional accountant in public practice. So part 3 is applicable to chartered accountant, those who are in public practice. Applicable to accountants providing professional services. They are in public practice. They are giving services to society, to individuals, to companies, corporates, and so on. Okay. Now, part 4. So it's very simple. Part 1, fundamental principles, all have to follow whether you are in practice, whether you are in service. Then, part 2 is applicable to chartered accountants who are in service. Part 3 is for chartered accountants who are in public practice. They are doing their own practice, independent office practice. Part 4 is independent standard. One of the most important principle on which the complete audit profession is based is independence. Independence. That means legally, financially, personally, professionally, you should not be dependent. If you're not dependent on anyone, personally, financially, legally, professionally, you are called independent. So independence is a very important requirement. Independence is very important requirement. Those who are independent, it is easy for them to be honest. It is easy for them to be unbiased. It's one of the most important principle on which our profession is based. So especially for independence, and a lot of problems arise, lot of wrong reporting, lot of unethical activities are done because chartered accountant was connected, associated, dependent on the client in one way or the another. So at the root cause is the independence issues. So independence is given a lot of importance, whether it is code of ethics, whether it is standards on auditing, whether it is law, whether it is SEBI, whether it is Supreme Court, High Court, everyone expects and demands that chartered accountant should be independent. How to be independent, how to ensure, how to be independent, how to remain independent, what things should be done, what things should not be done. So there's a part 4. There's a part 4. In that there is part 4A and part 4B. Part A is for how to maintain independence if you're doing audit or review. When you spend a lot of time, perform all the procedures, and you generate an opinion on financial statement, that's called audit. When you have less time available, okay, and you have less time, so within 15-20 days you have to complete the assignment and you have to give opinion on the financial statements, so you have less time available. You can do checking in short. You can simply go for inquiry and you can go for analytical procedures and inquiry. We're going to study about that. So when you do the whole checking in short manner and applying only few procedures, not detailed procedures, that is called a review assignment. There's a complete chapter on this. That's called review assignment. So here you should simply understand one thing. If you're doing in-depth checking, that's called audit. That's called audit. And if you're doing checking in short, that's called review. So when when on annual basis you check financial statement of the company, that's called audit. And then quarterly financial statements, you give report within 10-15 days, that's called review. That's called review. Okay. So if you have seen if you have seen newspapers and you have seen quarterly results, lot of times they write unaudited there. Lot of times they write unaudited. The question is why they write unaudited. Okay. They write unaudited because it is reviewed. That's why they write unaudited. At the end of those advertisement, you will say that these are reviewed financial data. So if you're doing audit or review, then how to maintain independence, what things you can do and what things you cannot do, that is explained in 4A. Now 4B, if you are doing assurance engagements other than audit and review. Sir, are there engagements other than audits and reviews? Yes. There are more assurance engagements other than audits and regular audits and reviews also. Sometimes you report on reports in prospectus. Sometimes you report on internal control systems. So if you are into assurance engagements, and then other than audit and review, then in those assignments, see, what do you mean by assurance engagement? Whenever you comment on reliability of the information, you are assuring someone whether the information is reliable or not. That is called an assurance engagement. If there is a assurance engagement, but it's not a regular audit and review of financial statements, it is something like prospective financial statements, prospectus altogether, systems altogether, Then how to maintain independence, that is explained by part 4b. And then we have glossary. So the most important thing which we have studied in the whole discussion, after having an introductory part and the case study and the background, apart from Ya Esha Sapteshu Jagriti, that's extremely important. Apart from that, now here we have seen parts of code of ethics. So we have seen parts of code of ethics. So part 1, all CAs, and it talks about fundamental principles, a lot of discussion about the fundamental principles and how to implement them. Part 2 is only for CAs in service and CAs in service. So if a practicing chartered accountant is doing job along with COP is doing job, any kind of job, part 2 will get applicable. Then part 3 is for CAs who are in public practice, simply practice, public practice or practice. Part 4 is all about independence. Again, it is for CAs in practice. It has two things. If you are doing audit or a review of regular financial statements, 4A is going to explain how to be independent, what are do's and don'ts. Apart from that, apart from regular audits and reviews, if you're doing other assurance engagements, then part 4B will be applicable. This can be targeted in MCQs. So in which particular part, what thing is covered, and about applicability. What thing is applicable to which particular chartered accountant? This can be covered. See, whatever we are studying is from study material altogether, straight away from study material. Not a single word. We are going to be, audit course is such big and voluminous. We have to stick to module first. We have to thoroughly cover module first, and then only we have to cover something else. And now, see, after module, it's a ocean. After module, it's a ocean. Out of 120 marks, expect that 110 marks will be straight away from the module each and every time. 10 marks hardly will be outside the ocean. Smartness is to focus on this 110 marks. Foolishness is to focus on the ocean. Now, outside module, there are n number of things. It is difficult to cover them. It takes more time. It takes more time. It doesn't make sense to spend a lot of efforts on that. So stick to what is given in module. That is more than sufficient. And I will say that cover that first and then start talking about anything else. Okay. CA exams are always step by step. Always step by step. First cover this important step, and if time permits, go for the next step. Who is stopping you? But cover this step first. So this is extremely important, guys. Okay, just a minute. Let's see. Now, next is structure. Now, apart from that, is a glossary. So, what do you mean glossary? So, glossary, it simply explains terms which are used in code of ethics. So, all the technical and all the difficult terms which are used in code of ethics, they are explained in the glossary section. So that is also one of the part of code of ethics booklet, a glossary. Glossary is nothing but a place where you will find explanation to all the technical terms which are used in the book. Okay. Now, guys, see, get the concept, get the key points next, and keep scribbling. So we have seen a case that is not very important. They simply explain some unethical behavior by a chartered accountant. Fine. Then we have seen the introduction. They have given what do you mean by ethics, why it is important to follow it. Okay, they have discussed about that, and our motto is based on that. And then the parts of code of ethics. There are 4 parts of code of ethics. Next is the structure. So if you're becoming an expert in something, you should know the base. You should know some basics. Like when you study law, you know what is section, what is subsection, what is clause, what is subclause. Then there is section 2 of the act, which gives definition, and that's the only section where you get directly clauses. Correct? So on the same lines, when you're studying code of ethics, you should know how it is drafted. How it is drafted. So let me show you how it is drafted. Okay, just a minute. Let me show you how it is drafted. You'll see. You should know still these small basics. Okay, let's see. This is not expected in exam, but it will simply give you a feel. It will simply give you a feel of code of ethics. So if you see code of ethics booklet, you will see this is the index. This is the index. So there's a part 1. This is a part 1, and in part 1 you will see section. There is section 100, section 110, and in that again there are the section 111, section 112, 113, 114, 115. They are numbered in such a manner that you understand which particular section belongs to which particular topic. Okay, so 110, then you understand, okay, 111 is connected to 110, 112, 113, 114, 115. It talks about 5 fundamental principles. We are going to discuss that. Then the conceptual framework, further discussion on that. Part 2. So it is an index. Now, just a minute, guys. So again, as I said, they're not expecting this, but then you should know it. So if you see code of ethics, it is divided into 4 parts, and in each part you are going to get section. Now these sections are not literally like sections which we see in the law, okay, but then they are called sections again. So you will get an introductory part. In that you will get every particular section is drafted in this manner. So there will be some introductory part. So it is going to explain background, why this particular section is developed, and what to expect, outline brief summary of what kind of things which will be there in this particular section. So you will always have an introductory part. See, we are covering this because it's given in the module, and this, if they given in the module, they may ask MCQ on it, they may ask a case. As a chartered accountant, you should know what is the structure of the structure, how code of ethics is framed. Okay, we are explaining the structure, how code of ethics is framed. Let's see it. So they expect us, we teach. Then after introduction, you will find requirement section. You will find requirement. So requirement is, these are the principles you need to follow. General principles while doing any particular activity you need to follow, or some in specific situation, at the time of resignation, at the time of completing the assignments. So there can be general requirement we need to follow across the time you are performing any assignment or to a specific time. Then there is an application material also. So for further example, how to implement it, there is an application material. So there is an introduction, then there is a requirement section, and then for further explanation, examples, how to implement it, there is an application material also. How to implement, there is an application material also. Okay. There is an application material. So that's what they explain. That's what they explain. That's what they explain, guys, that you are going to see an introduction, background, and outline, what to expect in particular. So this is the thing which they're explaining, how sections within the code of ethics, are drafted. See, that is going to be very important. If you guys are into practice, or you are going to be in service, and if ethical matters, ethical issues arise, you should be able to read that booklet, because everything will be governed as per that booklet. Punishments will be as per that booklet. NFRA, National Financial Reporting Authority, they are going to see that booklet. Courts are going to see that booklet. CA Institute is going to see that booklet. So you should know how to read that booklet. You should know that how to read that booklet. That's why they're explaining you that. Then their requirement section, in general, what you're supposed to follow, in specific situation, what you're supposed to follow. So in general, what's supposed to follow, specific obligation will be given. Then application, then they will be giving you explanation, why this is there, how to implement, examples, what to do in tricky situation. There will be application material also. So you can say that, there are three most important things. So three most important things. 1A, that is introduction. 1B, that is a requirement section. And 1C, that is the application. So each and every section is divided into three parts. Okay. Then one more thing they are saying, that is how it is drafted in the module also, that it is mandatory, professional accountant must comply with the code. All the chartered accountant, it is mandatory for them to comply with the whole code, comply with the code. Yes, some part is for those who are in service and some part is for those who are in practice, but each and every chartered accountant is supposed to comply with this code. However, law or regulation may prevent compliance with certain part. Now that's very interesting. Sometimes law or regulation may say something opposite, or say that this part of code of ethics is not applicable to this particular assignment, then what will happen? We have studied this. Law is framed by parliament. Law is framed by the parliament. Law is framed by parliament. If parliament is saying something, it is the highest authority. We have to follow that. And this code of ethics are made by CA Institute. Who has the bigger authority? Of course, parliament has a bigger authority. If parliament is having a bigger authority, we have to follow what parliament says. Correct? So law will override this code of ethics. Very simple. So you may get an MCQ in the exams. That what will happen if code of ethics and law contradict with each other? Definitely law is going to override code of ethics. So that particular portion need not be followed by chartered accountants. Law and regulation take precedence. They will be followed. But accountant must still comply with other part of code. So this particular concept is talking about two things. This is talking about two things. What is the structure? What is the structure? And structure has three things. Introduction, that's a background. Requirements, what people are supposed to follow, what principles, what requirements, and the application. And in general, this code of conduct is applicable, code of ethics is applicable for everyone, all the chartered accountants. If law restricts it, okay, that particular part will not be applicable, but rest of the portion need to be followed. So you may get a case study. You may get a case study. You may get a case study, and you should be extremely careful about it. So they may say that there's a chartered accountant who says that law or court has said that this portion of the code of ethics will not be applicable, and then CA says that okay, that means code of ethics is not applicable. I am not supposed to follow code of ethics in this particular assignment. I am free from it. No, only part of the code of ethics will not get applicable. Other things which are not covered in the court order will get fully applicable. You may get a small case study on this. See, I will be discussing the small case studies. No such case studies has been asked till now, but then I will keep discussing the small case studies will be there. Okay. Next, guys, we come to the most important means these are given in a module. You must have studied about this in your inter classes also. But then they are covered in a lot of depth when it comes to see a final chapter number 19, professional ethics and liabilities of the auditor. They are covering it in more depth, and I expect a lot of cases to come from here. Yes, I expect a lot of cases to come from here. So don't take it lightly. I understand you are studying something which you already seen, but then also it is extremely important, guys. Now, so 5 fundamental principles. We have 5 fundamental principles. Fundamental principles. So remember these principles. I have made a shortcut. You may use a shortcut. You may not use shortcut. Okay. I generally feel that it is easy to remember 3 to 4 points, but something which is beyond that, it is good to have shortcut. So CBI, Office of CBI. Office of CBI. Office of CBI explains 5 fundamental principles.